So good morning, everybody. Welcome you to the Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024 meeting of the Calvert County Board of Commissioners. At this time, we'll have an invocation from Pastor Kendall. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's pray. Our Father and our God, we just come to you this morning and we ask you to bless our time together. God, we ask you to protect each person in this county. We ask that you give the government leaders wisdom in all that they do, the decisions that they make, and especially during this time of year when we celebrate the birth of your son, Jesus, and we prepare our hearts for his return. God, I just pray that you would keep our eyes on him. I pray that you would bless us and keep us, that you would make your face shine upon us and be gracious to us, that you would lift up your countenance upon us and give us peace. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I want to thank Pastor Kendall for coming down from the Community Baptist Church in Dunkirk. Appreciate having you down. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Are there any changes or additions to the agenda as presented? Have none.
Make a motion, we approve the motion, or
Approve the agenda.
approve the agenda as written, as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. I do have several public service announcements. As most of you can see, it is the season, and we have a lot of holiday events that are going on starting this weekend. So on this Friday night, from 4 to 6, we're going to be lighting the Christmas tree here in front of the courthouse. There are going to be food trucks and lots of other activities going on. I think we're going to light the tree at 6. So, if you want to come out, the town looks great. If you drive through at night, now that it's all lit up, it looks wonderful. So I want to thank all those. Usually the garden club helps with that. I know county staff does some of the decorating. So I want to thank all those individuals that worked on that. Actually, it says it's from 4 to 8. My schedule said 4 to 6. And then on Saturday, December the 7th, there's going to be an old-fashioned Christmas right here in Prince Frederick along Church Street. I know last year they had an ice skating rink. I don't know if they going to do that again this year. Last year they had an ice skating rink set up in front of the sheriff's office. Don't know if that's happening again or not. But if you haven't been, it's a great activity. It goes on all day long, centered around the Linden House. They have lots of vendors. Santa Claus shows up. It's a lot of great activities. And so that's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then on Saturday, December 14th, we're going to have the parade, which is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in Prince Frederick. And then from noon to 3, Calvert County Parks and Rec is going to have Home for the Holidays decorating at Kings Park, and right there off of Church Street. And then on the 14th at night, there's Solomon's is going to have their Christmas walk. That goes from 6 to 9, and the boat parade is at 7. And then I forgot, on Saturday, December the 7th, North Breach is having their Christmas parade at noon. So there's lots of activities going on as a prelude to Christmas. So, and you go on the website. There is, if you go to the county website, click on the Christmas tree. It's a calendar of all the Christmas activities that we know of that are going on right there on the schedule, so you won't miss anything. So we want you to come out and enjoy the season. Also, again, we have an animal of the week. I haven't seen. Oh, there she is. So the animal shelter comes every week now and brings an animal to show off for adoption. As most of you know, the shelter's been pretty full this summer, so we have lots of animals. And you brought a black cat.
That's
But
for
she's
Halloween.
the cutest little black cat. Good morning, guys. My name is
Morning.
Brandy. I'm the Animal Shelter Care Supervisor at the Linda Kelly Animal Shelter, and today we have Bell Bottom. She's been
cute.
with us for quite some time, since about August. She came in with a litter of kittens. She's the only one left. She was having a little trouble gaining weight and stuff. So she is actually 4 months old, but she looks
Oh, Lord.
a lot younger. She just
How's she
needs-
doing now with the weight?
She's doing great. Yep,
Good.
she's doing really well, and she is now available for adoption as of today. So
She also has cat condos she can hang out in.
she does.
That's
yes,
right.
She hangs out in the cat condo.
Yep.
And as you can tell, she loves to just curl up and just snuggle.
That's cool.
So if
She
you're
may have
looking
been
for a
schooled
cuddly
by
little
staff.
thing, she's it for you. And we have tons of other cats, dogs, guinea pigs, rabbits.
Did you get rid of that snake?
We have a snake.
Ugh.
It's in foster still, but we do have a snake.
Yeah, that's all right.
They had some mice, but the mice disappeared. So.
Yeah.
We'll bring the snake next week.
No thanks. Security.
Pigs, roosters, you name it, we got it. So, but you know, we have, we also, right now, we do have our giving tree up in the lobby. If anybody's willing, you know, just come on, you take an ornament and help donate to the shelter.
And what kind of items do you look for people to donate to the shelter?
So like bedding, toys, enrichment stuff for the animals to keep them busy, and food, treats, stuff like that. Yeah, pumpkin, peanut butter. We
yeah,
like
sorry,
it all.
pumpkin, yeah.
Anything is welcome. So, so yeah. And if you want to adopt, come on in and adopt. If not, come in and volunteer, or just we accept it all. It's very welcome. Volunteering is great. It helps the animals with enrichment, and so.
So what's it cost to adopt an animal?
There's different prices. Dogs are $75, cats are $40. I think barn animals 10-ish, 10 I think is what it is. We have barn cats that are 20. There's different prices, and they all come vetted, microchipped, fixed, up to date on vaccines. So, and that's all.
If you think that's a lot of money, go to a pet store
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yep.
or buy Redshirt Labs like I do.
Thousands.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you sponsor an animal?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. We do have sponsors for animals. So if you can't adopt, you can always sponsor and help out another family and help out
And like
an
you said,
animal.
people can come and volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely welcome volunteers. We enjoy them a lot, and they tend to enjoy the animals. And sometimes the volunteers end up adopting somebody. So
Be
it's
careful
very
what you
helpful.
volunteer for.
Right.
Yeah. So, but if anybody would like Miss Bell Bottom, we are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 4.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Have a
guys.
good day. All right, that concludes public service announcements. The next item on the agenda is a proclamation for Designated Driver Month. Commissioner Ireland and Candace.
Yeah, Candy, you can come on up.
I'm correcting.
We have a house full today.
I do, and they tell me that they can't sit because of their Class 1
Yeah.
uniform, so that's why they're all standing in the back.
Good.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you so
Good
much
morning.
for allowing us to be here today. I'm Candy D'Agostino, and I'm the coordinator of the Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse. And one of the outreach activities that we do in the community is to remind people that December is Designated Driver Month and encourage them to make a plan to get home safely. As part of that, we have the proclamation, but we also honor our law enforcement officers who have been out there. Well, they're out there every night, every day, protecting the citizens of Calvert County and our roadways. So we do honor 10 officers who have had the most DUI arrests for the year so far. So I'm going to go ahead and call their names, and we're going to present the plaques, and then Commissioner Ireland will do the proclamation, if that's okay.
That's fine. Candy, do you want to introduce your staff now or later?
I do. I would like to introduce my board members who are here. Bonnie Dreyer, who is our Vice President, Joanne Faber Tyrell, who is our now Secretary, who served as President. We do have representatives from the Maryland Highway Safety Office, Cliff Jacobs and Mike Baumgardner. And as you can see, we have a number of law enforcement officers in the back, as well as State's Attorney Bob Harvey. So I want to thank those folks for being here today. So we're going to start with the Calvert County Sheriff's Office. Our officers, in no particular order, are DFC Richard McCourt Jr., DFC Dylan DeSantis, Deputy Casey Hill, DFC Savannah Huey, and DFC Herschel Wilder. For the Maryland State Police Barrack U, we have Trooper Brandon Dill, TFC Taylor Hirsch, TFC Robert Kresmer is being honored today, but he is not able to attend. He's currently in basic training for the U.S. Navy. We have TFC Richard Marsh and Trooper Bryson Civic. And while the last two officers are coming to the front, I would like to thank the families of these officers. I know some are here this morning, and I would like to thank them for being the support at home and behind these officers who are standing here today.
Absolutely. Candy, thank you. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for doing what you do out there on the roadway. I may have been a recipient of that some time ago. But no, we truly do appreciate you. You know, the holidays coming up, we have tend to have a lot of alcohol-related crashes, some fatal crashes. So it's important that you guys are out there doing the right thing. Sheriff, Lieutenant, thank you for keeping your focus there as well. It's good to see family, friends. Old retired guy here trying to get a picture here. But without further ado, I'm going to read the proclamation. Whereas the Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse, Inc. is sponsoring a countywide impaired driving prevention campaign from December 1st, 2024 through January 2nd, 2025. And whereas the loss of life due to impaired driving is completely preventable. And whereas a designated driver campaign provides a unique opportunity for Calvert County restaurants, clubs, bars, and civic service organizations to join forces with the Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse, Inc. Calvert County residents and local law enforcement in promoting cooperative impaired driving prevention efforts. And whereas it is essential that all Calvert County citizens be aware of the importance of having a celebration plan in place, such as designated driver, and understand that their participation can have an impact on reducing impaired driving crashes in Calvert County. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of Calvert County Commissioners of Calvert County that all area restaurants, clubs, bars, civic service organizations, and the citizens of Calvert County join the Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse, Inc., Calvert County Sheriff's Office, and Maryland State Police Barrack U in supporting the Designated Driver Month from December 1st, 2024 through January 2nd, 2025. Be it further proclaimed that all Calvert County citizens are urged to choose a designated driver for any upcoming holiday parties they may attend and not provide alcohol to those under the age of 21. Given under our hands and sealed this 3rd day of December 2024, signed by all five.
Yes, would anybody else like to come up for a picture?
You're all dressed up.
Let me just say, Bob Harvey, State's Attorney, I choose my wife.
All those tall guys back here.
Do you mind coming up front? Sorry. Smile.
Rest your faces for a minute. Can the officer next to Commissioner Ireland, also both of you scoot to the right? House.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Use your chance to blink, use your chance to smile. 3, 2, 1. One more. Okay, hold.
Thank you all for what you do. Appreciate it, guys.
How you doing?
Congratulations. Yeah. Have a good day. Congratulations.
Jimmy, take care.
Man,
I'll see you. Take care of yourself.
have a great Christmas.
Thanks, sir. Bye, have a great day.
Commissioner Sheriff Cox, I just want to say thank you for recognizing this morning of our deputies and troopers that put forth the effort in keeping our roads safe. Like you said in your proclamation, driving under the influence is preventable, and if you can get a rod, please do. And I think these deputies and troopers, when they get a DUI arrest or whatnot, in my mind, I think we save a life there. So thank you for y'all. Have a good Christmas. And again, we have the Toys for Tots run early in the morning. I think Commissioner Hance forgot it.
We'll wrap up.
I wrote it down
6:30
somewhere.
in the morning if anybody can make it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Too many papers, Sheriff. I wrote it down somewhere.
And I agree with State's Attorney Bob Harvey. I choose my wife also.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning, 6:30?
6:30.
to 9.
Sheriff's
6:30 to 9 at the Sheriff's Office. They're doing Toys for Tots. If you drop off a toy, you get breakfast from Chick-fil-A, I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Very good.
I swear to God, I wrote it somewhere, but too much stuff. Next item on the agenda is an award from the Department of Community Resources, Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse. Candy's back up again.
just wrapped
Oh, we did all that
Yeah, she
together.
merged them
Oh,
together.
sorry.
That's just consent.
Next item on the agenda is consent. We have several items under consent today. Item 1, Department of Planning and Zoning Budget Amendment for Fiscal Year 2025 Special Revenue Fund. Item 2, Department of Public Safety Budget Amendment for Career Emergency Medical Services Contracted Services. Item 3, Department of Community Resources Diabetes Self-Management Program Memorandum of Understanding. Item 4, Calvert Soil Conservation District, Maryland Department of Natural Resources Whole Watershed Fund, 5 watershed proposal request for letter of support. That concludes the items under consent today. Is there any objection to those items listed?
None. I move that we adopt and approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
A motion and a second that we approve and adopt those items listed under consent today. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So the next item on the agenda is a work session. Department of Planning and Zoning. Director? And staff. Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Mary Beth
Morning.
Cook,
Morning.
Director of Planning and Zoning. With me is Rachel O'Shea, our zoning planner, and Will Hager, Planner 3. So we are in the midst of a open comment period for the public hearing from the Planning Commission, which will end on December 20th. This is for the update to the Calvert County zoning ordinance. So anyone wishing to submit comments can do so until the close of business on December 20th. So we're here to talk about some of the comments that have been received thus far. While this is just a work session, any recommendations that you want us to take to the Planning Commission, we can certainly do so. So I will turn it over to staff.
Okay, thank you, Mary, and good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning. Who are you?
Thank you for the question. My name is Will Hager. I've been working with Planning and Zoning, helping out with this zoning ordinance update project. Okay, and to begin with this presentation, we're going to cover some of the background on how we got to where we are. So on November 1st, 2024, the November 2024 draft zoning ordinance was made available to the public. A public hearing with the Planning Commission on the draft zoning ordinance was held November 20th, 2024, following proper advertisement as required by Maryland land use law. The Planning Commission voted to leave the record open for 30 days, allowing for additional public comment through the close of business on December 20th, 2024. 3 written public comments were received on the November 2024 draft prior to the November 20th public hearing with the Planning Commission. 2 of those written comments expressed concerns related to proposed community benefit agreements. 1 written comment expressed concerns and made suggestions relating to regulations pertaining to agricultural preservation districts. And at the November 20th public hearing, 4 individuals spoke to voice their public comments, and all 4 speakers expressed concerns relating to proposed community benefit agreements. So the primary purpose of today's presentation is to take a closer look at community benefit agreements as they're described in the draft zoning ordinance, and to give the commissioners the opportunity to discuss public comments received. So a community benefit agreement, or CBA, is a planning tool for commercial, industrial, and institutional developments to provide flexibility of design elements. The CBA is like other land use development projects, but requires Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioner approval to achieve substantially higher quality development that provides a public benefit that would otherwise not be obtained. A CBA permits creative and innovative approaches to the development of commercial, industrial, and institutional uses and growth areas, encourages mixed development patterns to avoid monotony in large developments, allows a developer to take advantage of special site characteristics, locations, or land uses. It provides for relief from the strict application of land use standards, development regulations, and performance standards found in the base zoning districts, decreases the burden created by new development on utilities and other infrastructure systems, provides a mechanism for increasing development in growth areas without adversely affecting traffic circulation, infrastructure, and public services or existing or planned adjacent development. And approval of an application of a CBA shall be permitted only in accordance with a development plan reviewed for compliance with the standards of Section 25-11 of the updated Calvert County zoning ordinance, and upon recommendation by the Planning Commission to the Board of County Commissioners and approved by the Board of County Commissioners in accordance with the procedures set forth herein. Any use within the use tables of Article 18 of this ordinance and any town center zoning ordinance that may be applicable to the land subject to the CBA may be included in a CBA plan with the exception of residential uses, provided that the use and intensity of the use is consistent with the comprehensive plan's land use concept for the area and the provisions of this ordinance. And just once again, to be perfectly clear and for emphasis, residential uses cannot be included as part of a CBA proposal.
Right, so on that, kind of expand where whatever's legal and compliant is still legal and compliant. But this document does not circumvent that. So nothing can be done in the CBA to change that. So if it's zoned for something, it's zoned for something. But this cannot change that.
So this
Right.
can provide flexibility in some design standards. So just for example, if a development wanted to exceed the size limitation of a building, say in a town center, it's set at hypothetically 100,000 square feet, and they wanted to do 120, they could enter into a CBA offering that, but providing some public benefit to, offset that.
Right, but it couldn't be used like, say, for residential, take to where.
No residential.
Where a person says, hey, I've got this building, if I add 10 more thousand square feet, I can put 8 more units in it.
No.
Right.
No.
And the point I was trying to get to is where whatever's on the books is what's on the books, but this can't be used to circumvent
Correct.
that.
So if they wanted to do a mixed-use development where there was a residential component, they would be held to the density that is in the zoning ordinance, which, when adopted, would be 4 units per acre.
So if a board wanted to break that, 3 members would have to break that.
That would be a text amendment. That would
Yes, they
a
could not
physical
use
change.
this document as a
No.
tool to say, well, we're just going to use the CBA and circumvent that. They would have to go through a public process, like you say, text amendment, all that, and inform people that they are taking an action to
Correct.
circumvent that.
That's correct.
And they could,
And they
if
could.
if they
Sure.
wanted to, as you say, go above the size limit that's currently required, and then granted that exemption, we could say, in return for that, we want a public park in
Yes,
this vicinity that would serve those residents that live near this development.
that's correct.
Right, but they would have to do that. They couldn't use this as an excuse, well, hey, the previous board gave me latitude to,
No.
right, so they would
No.
have to.
Right.
And I just have the ghost of Christmas past. I mean, you know, we're in that season. I remember my first term and, boy, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I think the title speaks for itself. It's community benefit. They are providing some benefit to the community to get these flexible standards.
Right, but you know, that's objective,
Sure.
because, you know, somebody may say, I don't really want a swing set, I just, you know what I mean, I want this, so I just don't want to be labeled of enabling, more density.
And could you explain the public input in this agreement?
Yes, I think, do we get to that?
We're
on
gonna be
the-
going through the.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
in-
gotcha,
in a
okay.
future slide, yes.
Yeah, really, it's the next slide where we're going to start to go over some of the process and submission requirements. So prior to the submittal, the applicant shall hold a public meeting with affected property owners, county staff, representatives of business and community organizations to discuss the CBA project, potential concerns and/or site design alternatives. The purpose of the public meeting is to generate ideas and provide assistance. Decisions are non-binding and cannot overrule the provisions of the ordinance or town center ordinances. And submission requirements for a CBA proposal shall include an explanation of how the project meets the CBA criteria, a statement of benefit to the community, and a statement outlining how the CBA process is superior in this instance to base zoning.
So Mary Beth, one more time, so the community gets their chance to their input before the whole complete site design is achieved?
Yes, this is
Okay.
the very first step. They get
Yes.
to go out to the community, talk about what they're proposing, and then there's lots more
The
time
input.
for public input through public hearings.
Thank you.
Okay, the CBA site plan will follow the approved technical evaluation group and subdivision evaluation group and site plan review processes. The Department of Planning and Zoning shall review the developer's submittal and determine whether it considers the proposed CBA to be compatible with existing development in the surrounding area and applicable comprehensive and small area plans. The Department of Planning and Zoning shall issue in writing a recommendation that the CBA be approved as submitted, approved with specified conditions, or denied. The department shall transmit the recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners and Planning Commission. And upon receipt of the staff recommendation, the Planning Commission shall schedule and conduct a public hearing upon the CBA application, following which the Planning Commission shall make a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners regarding the consistency of the CBA to the applicable comprehensive and small area plans. And upon receipt of the Planning Commission's recommendation, the Board of County Commissioners shall hold a public hearing, which may be held jointly with the Planning Commission for further action. So that concludes our overview of the community benefit agreement portion of the draft zoning ordinance. So I believe at this time, staff requests that the BOCC discuss CBAs any further and any public comments received.
So I think that people have some concerns that a CPA would allow a board to make a deal with a developer to relax standards or stormwater requirements. What language is in there that prevents a board from reducing requirements?
Good question. I didn't bring my ordinance. So, there's a lot of criteria that wasn't covered on these slides. And I think it's going to be the portion where Will spoke about, staff's going to be reviewing it. and saying exactly, okay, this doesn't meet the ordinance. Is this something you're willing to consider as part of the process? And that will be submitted as, before the public hearings are held for your consideration. So I think it's during those times where it's, they're going to make an ask, and staff will be providing documentation to how big of an ask that is and what that does.
But you can't circumvent state standards.
No, absolutely
So I
not.
think that's where the clarity needs to
Right.
come in, because you don't, as a county, have much more latitude already. Let's face it, the whole place, we're an island,
Right.
right? So everything on the water is, Maryland set the guidelines, so I don't know how much latitude you have.
Yes, so you're going to have forest conservation standards, stormwater management,
Right.
critical area, if you're in the critical area, none of that can be waived.
And I think that's my point that I'm trying to make.
Yes.
Is that there are state laws and regulations in place that we can't circumvent with any local.
I mean, just give you
provisions
latitude
that we
maybe
allow
for
for.
some common sense stuff, like the height of a sign, or something like a few inches of that, or maybe maybe something with a right of way, as long as
Size,
it's not on a
setbacks.
state road.
Right, right.
And I mean, so
So how much latitude do you have if you had concerns about the size of a building and requiring enhanced stormwater?
So you could put that requirement on it if they came to you
I guess I'm asking today.
today.
Can you do that today?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, at any time, the planning commission, when reviewing a site development plan, can ask for additional criteria to be met
But if we have this in place, we could ask for,
in writing in the agreement.
Right.
Yes.
right.
but you still would have.
It's a
you'd still-
trade-off.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you'd still be working under the same Maryland laws that like I say, 'cause and maybe I'm missing something, is why I'm asking. I don't see anything that's just gonna allow us to throw the rule book out the window.
No.
No.
So.
And it's still going through two boards. It's going through the planning commission, and then it has to come through us. I mean,
Yes.
and
Right.
People are always concerned about backroom deals.
Sure. Sure.
And in no way does this authorize a backroom deal.
correct.
And I'll be honest, I don't like giving the planning commission a lot of leadway either.
So they're making
Because-
recommendation to you.
Because
commissioners.
I mean, I'm just speaking honest. I haven't been happy, and you know that. I mean, I'm a real big fan of the law is the law, whatever it is. Now, I don't want to hear war stories, of what I think or should be. I just think the law is the law, and I think that's where some frustration came out, because nobody cares what somebody personally likes. It's just everybody needs to work under the same law. So that's why I want it clear. Maryland's got the guidelines. Sometimes we're a little stricter because we know our own topography, and to try to characterize it to how Calvert sits. But if there is something that's a common sense move, I understand that,
And it's about attracting businesses that want to come to Calvert County and just making sure that when those businesses comes, even though they may follow the zoning, that there's an opportunity to gather some kind of a community benefit. Look, at the end of Walmart has talked about expanding that Walmart for years. This would give a board the opportunity to negotiate a deal with Walmart to say, look, we'll allow you to expand, but in return for that, we want this.
Yes.
Those kinds of things. And people, as we've mentioned, people are always concerned about density. You're going to increase. Density is nowhere allowed in this. And we always talk, 3 votes can change anything.
Sure.
What we do is what we do. Once we're gone, 3 votes can annihilate or do
Anything.
whatever they want.
But what I do like is the public's involved. So somebody wants something, and they say, hey, I'm going to offer you this to do that. The public has an input first before any decision's made to go, hey, we see that as a community benefit or we don't.
But you can't live in fear of 3 votes.
Correct. And
If
going
you
back,
live in fear of 3 votes, you'll never do anything.
Right, and my biggest thing is I just don't want to be a part of it, because I'm not going to avoid you in aisle 2 at the grocery store because I made a bad decision. And a lot of times, you make decisions on information given. It's not an excuse, but that's just a fact. I mean, all of us in life, you're making decisions on the stuff that's in front of you, and hopefully you'll learn and adapt. So I'm not scared of a document that's flexible. just as long as, like community concerns are, it doesn't give you a permission to throw the rule book out the window and just turn it into Waldorf, because nobody living here wants to be that. So,
Going back to Commissioner Hans's Walmart topic, I mean, it could be something as simple as making them have a different point of egress or entrances or anything that would benefit us and in our Public Works Department and being able to do such a thing. So this would allow us to do something like that as well.
True.
So does that address the comments that were made that night at Planning Commission?
I think for the most part it does. I think the residential component was a big concern. I think people were a little confused of where that line was, but hopefully we've made that clear now. That, you know, if it has to do with residential use or density, it cannot be included in the discussion of a CBA. And that can only go through, per the zoning ordinance, through our site development process.
I mean, this board, through the zoning ordinance, has slashed density drastically.
That's correct.
I think people should not have concerns that we're gonna, you know, all of a sudden increase density. I mean, for 2.5 years, all we've done is cut density. You know, but I know that, you know, they're living in the past and things that have happened, but I think that this board,
going forward, you know, you don't want to see the line erase and now the town center's this big and you could put it, you know, and because we're not creating any more roads or any more infrastructure. I mean, we have what we have, and you know, so.
yeah.
And I've heard all the reasons and whys and this, that, and the other. You still got Route 4. That's all you got, and so, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just another tool or option that they can or cannot use. It's
Correct.
their choice
Yes.
in the public discussion.
And there's public opportunity for comment. So I think we've done as much as we can do.
Okay, if you're satisfied with how it is, we'll leave it, and then proceed to back to the Planning Commission on the 30th. We won't need to update them on the 18th because we're not making any proposed recommendations. And so hopefully we'll get a recommendation from them and proceed to the public hearing with the commissioners on January 7th.
Cool. Just been a long process. We're
It
just
has.
trying to get it wrapped up
Yes.
and move forward. That's all we're trying to do here.
And we are very thankful for the public's comments, and it's been a lot of them. We've had to work through quite a bit, and I'm sure there'll still be more concerns coming.
Sure.
Absolutely. Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that brings us to public comment. Mr. County Attorney?
Thank you, sir. The board adopted a resolution in 1989 intending to maintain the order and decorum of the governmental process. A copy is found here to my right. Persons are welcome to address the Board of County Commissioners on any matter germane to the business of county government. Those addressing the board shall not be uncivil, rude, vulgar, profane, or otherwise disruptive to the conduct of the board's business. All speakers must identify themselves, and whether speaking as an individual will be allocated 2 minutes, or as the appointed spokesperson of a group, will be allocated 5. Those attending virtually, we don't have any. Ethics Commission has asked that we remind speakers of public comment that lobbyists include those who seek to influence public policy, and lobbyists are required to register in advance. Is there anyone here for public comment?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Shelley Baden. I'm here as a citizen, I'm not representing a group today. Last month, I attended the monthly CCAC meeting with Janet Stephenson was our guest speaker. Also, I'd like to say community members are always welcome to attend these meetings. The team meeting ID information can be found on CCPS website. As Vice Chair, I am extending an invitation to everyone in the board. The topic was on speech and the impact on students with lagging speech skills. Students with speech issues become frustrated when they cannot communicate effectively. This leads to behavior issues. Behavior is a form of communication. Nationwide, there's a shortage with speech pathologists as well as many other therapists that we need in our schools. I also attended the Student Safety and Wellbeing Advisory Committee formed by the county commissioners. I'm unclear on the mission for this committee as well as why it's being overseen by the county commissioners. Respectfully, would it not be more practical to put these resources to the appropriate school departments that teach lagging skills to prevent safety concerns in our schools? I also feel that the Board of County Commissioners and the school system would benefit from collaborating directly with the school staff and the administrators to share firsthand information to prevent behavior issues. Consequences will not resolve student issues, nor will they teach the lagging skills students need to prevent unsafe behaviors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Don Garrett, and I'm here to talk about the county parks a little bit. You talked about it last time, I heard at the last board meeting about synthetic fields, so I'm just a little bit of a support in that, okay? So anyway, just give you a quick background. I sent some slides out. I think Katie's given me some. And so basically, just my background, I'm the coach for the Challengers League with the Calvert County American Little League, and I've got like 18 to 20 players that come out, each in the springtime, each couple times a day. Couple times, once during the week and once in the weekend. We play. We have interchangeable shirts, and we have two teams. Orioles and the New York Mets. And so one of the other thing is that I'm also a board member. So of the Calvert American Little League, and I also represent their interests and their needs on that board. So the next slide I had was showing the facilities that we use right now at Howling Point Park. So at that field right now, we use Field 4, which is fairly accessible, but there's a lot of issues with it. If you look at some of the photos, if you look around the home plate, it's really soft, hard for, I have a picture of a person, someone in a wheelchair, just trying to stand there, and there's just some other pictures of some of the kids, with one in barefoot, trying to navigate that field, because they have, sensory issues, and so they have trouble, they don't want to wear shoes, and so running around on a dirt field is kind of tough. And then the other thing is, one of the things I talked to Amanda Stillwagon, I went over there with her just before Thanksgiving, and we were looking, the dugouts, there's no cover for those. And so it is tough on our kids when they go there. So what I'm here today is to say that, in the county right now, there's no synthetic fields. I know you talked about that last time. And one of the things I'm here to say is that, over in Charles County, they do have a synthetic field. It's called the Field of Dreams. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It's a field though, but it's pretty contained just for special needs. And it's not really good for the overall general purpose of baseball. What I'm proposing is if they, in the master plan for the park is to have a synthetic field. And so what I'm saying is, don't make it contained like that. Make it a general baseball field that, both not only us as special needs, challengers team can play, but also the community as a whole. And so what I'm getting at is, it'd be a win-win situation for not only the special needs kids, but also a place for the community to play that, it'd be the first synthetic field within the county. And so that's what I'm just trying to start the wheel going, because I know you guys are starting in the planning of all that and trying to get the funding. And so basically, the sum it up is, what I'm trying to understand is, how do getting the funding, for that. I'm here, I know other parents and special needs would really like to see this, improvements to that park, not access to it, but also the field conditions. And so what I'm wondering is if, I asked Amanda Stillwagon, what I could do to, she said one of the things is come here, figure out, I don't know if I can work with somebody on the board and the county parks, to try to figure out how to funding. Because, there's obviously Charles County got funding, and there's another place I showed where they have a regular field that's got funding. So anyway, I'm just asking, I don't know if someone can reach out to me and, to help. I'm more than happy to work, and I think it's a win-win situation for the community and get, to get the first, my goal is to get the first synthetic field within the county. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no more speakers, Mr. President.
Thank you. That brings us to Commissioner reports. Commissioner Cox.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving celebration with their families. On the 20th, Commissioner Hance and I attended a delegation meeting at the library, which was well attended by the League of Women Voters. And then on the 30th, I attended Old Town Deer Harvest check-in from Senator Bailey's.
How was that?
Which was very well attended, and a lot of young people was there. It was real nice, cold, but it was nice. Let's remember the tree lighting is this Friday. Hope to see everyone there in front of the courthouse. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Harlan.
So on the 27th, we had the first ever Calvert County Sheriff's Office retiree luncheon. Had approximately 30 to 35 retirees there. Just want to give a special shout out to Robin Cox for putting that together. It's kind of neat seeing all the, well, when I joined the sheriff's office, they were the older guys, and now I guess I'm one of those older guys too. But it was good seeing everybody to get together to do that. Again, as Commissioner Cox said, I'm looking forward to the Christmas tree lighting on Friday. Calvert Chamber again on Saturday. Commissioner Hance touched on it earlier, but they're having an old-fashioned Christmas at the Linden House from 11 to 4. Last year it was very, very well attended. They have vendors, food trucks, and I believe Santa's even going to make a visit there. And keep the Terrell and Reichel families in your thoughts and prayers for the loss of David Terrell. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Hart.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I just want to say thank you to Smile. This time of year, everybody's thinking about Christmas, and, we just went through Thanksgiving. They're feeding more people now than they ever have in the history of the place. And, if you're looking for a place to help out or do anything you can, they're truly doing remarkable work down there. God bless all of them for what they're doing. Like I say, it's been the busiest it ever has been, and pretty exciting down my way. PAX football is heading back to the championship. They will play Dunbar Friday at 4:00. Dunbar beat us a couple years ago. They're no joke, but I tell you what, PAX has put together an outstanding program this year. So it's going to be a very tough game, but that will be Friday at 4:00 at the Naval Academy, and I am anxiously awaiting.
Those Dunbar guys, aren't they pretty big?
They are. They are. They're outside of Baltimore. They just they don't lose. Very rarely do they lose. When we played them 3 years ago, we took them right down to the wire, and so we have a very good team. Very well coached. I mean, how they act on the field. I mean, they have just really represented Calvert County very, very well this year, and boy, so we need to bring home that pennant. Yes, we need to hang that banner on the wall. So
good luck.
Yes, thank you.
And Commissioner Grasso is on travel. She's in Germany, so she's probably listening in. So we hope you have a safe travels in your return. The School Safety Advisory Committee was established because citizens were concerned about the safety in the schools and didn't feel like they were getting responses from the Board of Education. So that was our response. As far as Holland Point Park, they're working on the master plan. We'll make sure that somebody from Parks and Rec reaches out to figure out a path forward. We're always looking for funders to come in. As you know, there's lots of needs. And if any private industry wants to come in and help support any endeavor, we would certainly welcome that. So we'll make sure somebody from Parks and Rec reaches out, figures out a way to see if we can make that happen. Last Thursday night, I attended the Chesapeake Beach Town Council meeting. That was the last meeting for Mayor Mahoney and the current council. And based on the recent election, they have an entirely new council. Mayor Mahoney stepped down. Mayor Mahoney worked in public service for over 30 years. So we want to thank Mayor Mahoney for all of his time. And as I said that night to the new incoming councilman, it's not as easy as it looks. You have to make tough decisions, and you get a lot of questions and calls, and people want what they want and don't understand why they can't get it. So I want to wish them all the best, and certainly want to thank Mayor Mahoney and the outgoing council for their work. And it did reiterate for me, we've had a little discussion, had a citizen come in, recommend some changes to how the county commissioner board is set up, and we did talk about staggered terms because Mayor Wall is the new incoming mayor at Chesapeake Beach. Want to wish him all the best. But Mayor Wall did serve on the council, was a previous mayor. But when you have a whole new board coming in, as I think our new members will attest to, it's quite a learning curve. And it could be a shock to have 5 brand-new commissioners that have never served come in all at one time. So maybe we will talk more about in the future how we might stagger terms on the board just to keep some continuity moving forward with the
Better have a real
board.
good staff.
Yeah, it
If
is.
you got 5 new members, you better have a very veteran staff,
Yeah,
because that game changes quick.
could be a challenge. So that's something we'll talk about in the future. Before I get into holiday announcements, there is one thing I have to address. Got a phone call last week. Somebody was concerned about my health because apparently there was a rumor circulating in Calvert County that I had had a kidney transplant a few years ago. My kidney was being rejected and my health was declining. I hope you'll see today that my health is pretty good. I don't have any kidney issues today, but rumors get started and we all know how that is. But I just want to address everybody out there. I feel pretty good today and so far so good.
Director Willis, can you cancel that? We were going to measure President Hance out and get his weight. Can you cancel that false alarm?
Just those are the kind of things you deal with in public service. People try to put you in an early grave. So now to the good stuff. We have a lot of activities coming for the holidays. Starting tomorrow morning at the Sheriff's Office from 6:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. There'll be a Toys for Tots collection. You can drive through, and they're going to give you a Chick-fil-A breakfast to take with you on your way. So it's a great reward for donating a toy. I think, and then on Friday night from 4 to 8 p.m. right here in front of the courthouse, we're going to have a tree lighting ceremony and a holiday market. There's going to be vendors, food trucks, and live music, and we're going to light the tree at 6 o'clock. That's right here in front of the courthouse. On Saturday, the next day, we're going to have Old Town Fashion Christmas right here in Prince Frederick on Church Street in front of the Linden House. That's from 11 to 4. And then at noon on Saturday in North Beach will be the Christmas Parade. The following Saturday on the 14th, we're going to have the Home for Holidays Parade. That'll be right here in Prince Frederick from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then from noon to 3, Calvert County Parks and Rec will have Home for the Holiday Celebration at the King Park, which is there on Church Street, same place that you were this coming Saturday. And on Saturday, December 14th at night will be the Solomon's Christmas Walk. That's from 6 to 9 p.m. The boat parade are you going to have a boat in the boat parade?
Think so.
It's
It's going to be a busy 2 weeks.
Boat parade is at 7 p.m. And that concludes all of my announcements for today. Someone have a motion to adjourn because we don't have exec session today.
Make a motion to adjourn, sir.
Second?
Have a motion and a second that we adjourn. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
Everyone
you.
have a great day.